Hi everybody, it's your boy Big Riz here with a review of the Canon 7D digital SLR camera. First off, this camera is for the semi-pro professionals who are looking for a very sturdy, very compact, good digital SLR camera. I'm a beginner, but I had the funds to buy a very good camera, so I went with the 7D. I researched the Nikon 5100, the Canon 60D, and this camera just is just better in respects for the autofocus system with the 19 points of autofocus and just the overall quality of the camera. The Canon price tag without a kit lens, I believe I bought it for $15.04 off of Amazon. That was probably the lowest I found it for. If you want the camera with a 28mm to, I believe, a 200mm lens, the price then jumps up to around $1,700. I bought the body only, which cost me $15.04 with the Canon 1.8 50mm lens, because I basically bought the camera to shoot video. And now I'm finding out that I like still photography, and I'm liking it even more because this camera produces some great shots. It's real hard to shoot a bad shot when you're in auto everything. This camera is great for beginners if you're willing to shell out that initial $1,500 to $1,700 for the camera. So like most professional digital SLR cameras, the lens is removable and you can exchange, different lenses with this camera. They work off of the Canon EOS lenses. So first we'll unscrew the lens happy. Here you see the shutter. Then we're going to undo the lens cap. So you got this 50mm lens is very light. Your focus ring is right around the front. It gets you very good quality images with this, and this lens was $103, I believe. So it's fairly cheap, but it's a good lens. So we'll put the lens on. It turns, snaps into place. To release the lens, this button on the side here, you press it, you turn, and the lens comes back off. So there you have it. Your manual and autofocus button here on the side. It's in manual right now. I also purchased the camera with a 32GB Transcend 133 CF card, compact flash card. That's located here on the side. If you pull the door back, it actually flips open, and there's your card. The eject button is at the bottom. This is the first time I'm actually taking the card out to show you. But 32GB, and with the 32GB, I mean, you get over 1,000. You can shoot over 1,000 high quality raw images. I've shot over, I want to say, well over 1,000 shots. The battery, bottom side, you press this in, it pops up, you got your battery in there, you flick it, it comes out. Stock battery that comes with the camera. If you are shooting video and you are shooting reviews and vlogs, I advise you, and this is something that I'm going to do shortly, is to spend the money and get the AC adapter. The battery use, I've noticed, lasts me roughly a day. The day I shot my son's birthday, I had the camera on the majority of the time. It was probably a 6-hour party. By the end of the day, I was probably down to about 15 to 20%. So it's good on the battery if you're occasional shooting. I shot 700 images that day, so I mean that's pretty good for a digital SLR using the live mode and using the regular mode and shooting video at the same time. So the battery life, I believe, is really good. When you do get the AC adapter, it it'll have to go basically in the battery slot. So what Canon did was they put on the inside a little switch right here, and if you press the switch down, you can remove the door on this camera, on the battery slot. Sorry, I'm pressing the wrong way. So you press down and the door comes off, so that when your AC adapter sits in there and the wire hangs out, it's perfectly fine. I was wondering how they would do that, and they simply made a removable door, which I think is great. And if you're shooting in high speed, which on this camera is 8 frames per second, you will capture the image at some point in that 1 second. And I've shot some great stuff, some great movement. The play button at the bottom is the one I'm hitting a lot now when I'm shooting a lot of images. Like the scroll wheel up top will take you 10 frames at a time. Scroll wheel down the bottom will take you 1 frame at a time. The play button, I mean, literally get you in and get you out of your playback. Looking at it, it's quick, it's easy. The delete button is at the bottom. Okay, so here's the perfect example of a photo that you shot and you see it's blurry and you're not going to use it for anything. You just press the delete key, scroll over, press the center, and it's gone. I mean, it's that simple. So I usually scroll through a bunch of them. I know I just shot some. This is me that's blurry and out of focus, so I'm not going to use it. Delete. Here's another one. Scroll, center, delete. Here's another one. Delete. There's one. Delete. There's another one. I mean, it's that simple. The scroll wheel here also is scroll wheel for most of your menus. It also controls your f-stop when you're in live mode or when you're shooting in the regular mode. On the side, you have your shooting modes, which I'm in manual. You also have 3 custom modes to shoot in. Your on and off switch is here. On the front of the camera, on the side, you got your flash button. And down at the bottom of the camera, you have your depth of field preview button. On the side, you have very tight water sealed connection ports. If you pull them up, you'll see, and this actually comes out so you can turn it a little bit. You see your HDMI at the bottom. Your AV and USB port are combined, it's there. And then you have your microphone port at the top, and that goes back in nice and tight so no water gets in. On this side, you got your remote. You got your remote if you plug up a remote to your camera, and you have your flash inputs. The layout is very, very easy to use. Canon does a great job. I've got tons of Canon products. I'm shooting this review with a Canon right now, and I've liked their products a lot. The button functionality, as far as it, when you put it in your hands, every button is there. You can touch it, you can feel it. They put the buttons exactly where they were supposed to be for this type of camera. The camera is an 18 megapixel camera, so the files are huge. I believe I'm at like 5,000 by 3,000 or something like that. Make sure you have a lot of drive space for the amount of shots you're going to be shooting with this thing. I will say I think the camera is great for the price tag. You get exactly what you pay for, a very hard, solid, sturdy camera that that takes some beautiful images. So now I'll show you how to use the iPad 1 or iPad 2 with the Canon 7D running iOS 5. So you take your camera connector, connect it, it's in. You go USB out of your Canon 7D. Make sure it's switched on, it's ready to go. Make sure your iPad is up and running. And as soon as you plug your camera in to your iPad, your images come up and you're ready to load. So here we are in the picture mode off of the camera. I'll select a couple images and import them, and a couple of them will be video, and then I'll show you that it does work with iMovie and how easy it is to get into and edit. So once you're finished importing, I'll ask you if you want to keep them. You say keep until you delete them, and then they're in your iPad in your photos. You can take the raw files into any app that you have on your iPad and work with them, or you can view them full screen. You know, that's my son crying. It's just, to me, it's just a great photo. That's my goddaughter. She's cute. And this is actually the video from the Canon 7D. I'll play with the shot, 1920 by 1080 in 23 frames per second. Now out to iMovie, and as soon as you open up iMovie, you get the prompt for a new project. So you create a new project, and there are the videos right at the top. You can add to your project. I mean, and it works just like you shot it off your iPhone or something like that. So you can edit with your 7D footage in iMovie, that easy. For me, I know that I'm going to Hawaii in February, so this will be a great setup with the Canon 7D and the iPad, so I can edit and basically have something to work on while I'm on the plane. Probably by the time I get back home, have a full video done that I could then take from here into my Mac and go iMovie in my Mac, or if I have Final Cut X, take the project into Final Cut X and add the extras to it that I want. But Apple made a great product when they made the iPad. You know, just being able to use it in this fashion with Canon 7D DSLR to get these great shots, and then to be able to edit right there on the fly is awesome. This has been Big Riz with the review of the Canon 7D digital SLR camera. If you want to check out my other videos, I'll post a couple here. You can find me on Facebook and Twitter. And I thank y'all for watching again. Peace out.